Thanks, Tina. Damian, hi.
Hello.
Can you just tell us, before the match against the All Blacks, when was the last time you actually played a rugby match? And obviously, the pros and cons. I mean, presumably you feel quite rested. But then how hard is it to get back into that sort of full match sharpness after a long break?
I think the last game was on the 20th of May in the Japanese Top League, if I'm correct. But yeah, our training has been very intense in the 6-week block that we had before even the first match against Australia, which most of us didn't play before we played the All Blacks. But yeah, to play a match again, it's a different intensity. We obviously train very intense, but I think with the contact involved and hitting rucks and scrumming and lineouts, and always being on the move, I think you can only get match fitness when playing matches. So, that was always the challenge. And I think in the first 20 minutes against All Blacks, it really stood out. I felt we were quite strong starting the second half. So yeah, hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know we'll have a much better start this weekend, and we'll bring a lot more energy than what we did in those first 20 minutes against All Blacks.
Trevor, it's been a while since you've been in the match day 3, I think since Argentina last year in Argentina. Stoked to be back in the mix and fired up to get on the park this weekend.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's been a while since I've won the jersey again, but yeah, very much stoked. It's very excited. It's going to be a tough challenge, and in all fairness, in this environment and squad, there's so many great players, and the competition is really at a high level. So you need to bring your best every time. So when you're not in the match 23, you just work as hard as you can, and when eventually you get your chance, you try and use the opportunity. So yeah, very much excited. I know it's gonna be a very tough game, and yeah, when playing against Argentina is very physical, scrum wise and line out, and it's a game where you need to man up. So I'm excited to get a chance and to be able to represent the country again.
Trevor, how do you enjoy playing in France, and how does rugby there compare to or differ from what you experienced back home playing Super Rugby?
Yeah, French rugby is definitely has evolved and has changed. Back in the day when I used to hear French rugby, it was just a slow and physical game that they played. But in my experience lately, it is actually just as quick. Not 100, fully, maybe 80% as quick as what Super Rugby used to be. But the physicality is definitely second to none. So it is a very tough league to play in. And my experience, actually the teams that hit you the hardest in the top 14 are the teams that are number 14 and 13. So you don't just go away and think it's just going to happen. That's where you take the biggest shot. So it's a tough league, but I've learned to embrace it. In the beginning it was tough, but I'm starting to enjoy it very well now.
Trevor, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because it's almost like you can prime yourself for a World Cup group as well. Like you just said, it's the middle of the lot. Teams that are actually prove the toughest, and it's pretty much the same in your World Cup group. With the Tongans and those guys.
Yeah, I think if you ask me, going into a World Cup, I don't really think there's a weak team there. Everyone is there because they've qualified and they've been in the rankings, and teams like Tonga, people might think maybe they're in the lower ranks, but it can be very brutal. And I think most people have seen those who have managed to play against them. It's actually very tough. Where when you come across obviously top tier nations, there's a little bit more of trying to put each other in a trap, or luring each other into doing certain things, where those teams will just man up physically, and even if you do manage to beat them on the day, it hurts after.
Just a quick follow-up, Trevor. One of your memorable moments this season in France was a 40-meter break against Toulon, where you actually sidestepped the fullback as well. If you were given a gap in the World Cup, would you run and try sidestep again?
I think I'll play what I see, and I think at the Springboks, the guys like Dukes, the guys like Chizzy, they will be there for the support. So as quickly as the moment I break the line, I'll start looking left and right because I know I'll get caught. So I'll just try and look for guys like Damian in them who can and give them the ball and let them do what they're good at.
Thank you.
Damian, you mentioned how tough it is, having to come in sort of cold after not playing for quite a while, getting match fitness. Has it also been tough with sort of the way the squad has changed match to match so far in giving guys game time and all that and playing with different guys around you each game? Has that also been a bit of a tough adjustment to get used to going into games?
For me personally, no. I think a lot of us have been playing together for us as a group now with Coach Jacques and Coach Rassi and Stoker and Felix that came in 2019. We've been together for a good 5-6 years almost, roughly. And a lot of the playing group has been quite similar. Obviously, there's been guys that have retired and unfortunately guys miss out along the way as well. But us as a playing group, I know we do play a lot of games at certain combinations, but even in training we do tend to swap around and get a good feel for each other. And I think that goes a long way in training. So when we get to a game, we're very comfortable and we know we have more space for the guy inside and outside.
And sorry, just to follow up there, sorry, Ken. Playing with Marnie and Grant inside you this weekend, it's quite a new and exciting combination. You're looking forward to linking up with them?
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Obviously, playing rugby in Japan is watching the ULC a lot, and watching how they play in the ULC, it's obviously electric, and they're both not just dynamic but extremely fast players on the field. So. And highly skillful. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait for the challenge. I can't wait to feel the game, how the game will be with them taking control of things. So I think it's going to be very exciting, and I think they're also both looking forward to the challenge, and I'm sure they will stick both hands up and have outstanding performance.
We asked Jesse last week as well. You also didn't feature in one of the previous tests this season. Are you desperate to put in a strong performance on Saturday?
Yeah, I personally think everyone who gets the opportunity to wear the green and gold obviously wants to put up their hand and do what's best and have a great performance. Because like we said, the competition is high in the team, which is very healthy. And like I think Marvin mentioned it. It's not just about me and me having a great performance, but fulfilling a role in the team and make sure that the machine that we're working with is well oiled and functioning in the right way. So yes, obviously as a player you would like to go onto the field every day and put out a great performance. But with that being said, you need to find a place in the team where you fit in, where you can contribute what you're good at and what you can give and offer to the team to make the team better. So yeah, excited for the opportunity and really wanna go out there and express myself and enjoy myself. But yet I'm with 14 other guys on the field who we're trying to achieve the same goal. And at the end of the day, it's not just about Trevor; it's about the whole team. So looking forward to the challenge. Not going to be easy, but it's these kind of games that you get excited about and want to go out there and express yourself.
Damian, can you just take us through the process that the management is putting you guys under? Because we spoke to Jock and he said that they are trying to get you guys as much on peak form for the World Cup as possible. So will you take us through the process? How is the management managing that process, and what are you guys actually doing to be sure that you are at peak performance and peak form for that first game against Scotland, with these warm-up games and the last Argentinian game now coming up in mind?
Well, training-wise, I think we put each other under a lot of pressure. I know we put each other under a lot of pressure. I know us as the backline, we're quite lucky just to be running all day, and we get to look across the field and see how the forwards are getting stuck into each other in the balls and scrum. So I know how hard they work. I know how hard our backs work on getting our detail right and staying on tip-top shape. But yeah, like I said, it's mostly you can train for a year and not play rugby, but the only way you can get that much fitness is by playing consistently. And there will be guys missing out this weekend, like we know, and there will be guys missing out next weekend. But it's just to try and find the balance of getting everyone enough minutes so that when we do get started at the World Cup, that we can fire not just as individuals but as a whole squad.
Damian, I think when a lot of Springbok fans think about the centre pairing, they think of you and Nyakane, but I mean, you actually established yourself as an international player, and Jesse himself, you two were actually also very, consistent pairing, in terms of playing games together initially and stuff. So how lucky do you feel to have almost like two partners in crime that you trust?
I've been incredibly lucky. But I'm looking forward to the challenge, whether I play with Jesse or Lukey, or if I had to play at 13 and Andre had to play at 12. I think the four of us, the way we put each other under pressure at training, the way we teach each other, the way we learn from each other, I think it goes a long way. And I'm happy for Jesse. Obviously, he was unlucky not to be up for selection against Australia with the red card incident, but he's been doing very well at training, like Nyakane and like Andre have as well. So I know he's ready to go. I know I'm ready to go, and I know the other 30 guys are also ready to go. And we're all looking forward to the challenge on Saturday.
Any Afrikaans questions for Martin? Okay, one more in, sure.
Trevor, just quickly, what are you expecting from Argentina, the Argentinian pack on Saturday? They're always physical, and they get stuck in. Is there a change in the approach that you guys have maybe seen against Australia?
I think when, like as you just said, when it comes to Argentina, it's going to be hard on bone, and it's going to be a tough challenge. But I think they've come a long way from just being Argentina that just wants to go physical, and they've got a few moves that they have now in the lineouts that keep you thinking, and the way they scrummaging, and we all know that they've always it was always one aspect of the game that they actually really enjoy, and they can, if you're not aware or not ready, they can put you under immense pressure. And so for us as well, we definitely know that you can't. They are no slouch. They're not just gonna go away. They're gonna keep coming the whole day. It doesn't matter how much you dominate them. They don't give up. They don't go away. Even if you dominate them in the first hit in the scrum, if you think you've got it, they'll come back at you and it will bite you. So it's a very physical pack, very forward orientated. They enjoy putting their head in the dark places where most people don't really like being. So I think that's the most difficult part of playing them, because when you play other teams, if you keep imposing yourself physically, sometimes they go away. But a team like Argentina, especially in the pack, they've got some real inspirational players, some players who played many caps, the big dogs who knows the dark arts of the game. So that's going to be the big challenge for us, and to make sure that we try and apply as much pressure as possible, whether it's scrum time or mauling or